Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we are watching and reacting to St. Louis City SC versus Columbus Crew, MLS 2025, Week 8. Domingo Futbolero, St. Louis, Columbus. Not surprising. 6 p.m. We're ready to go. St. Louis will play the Columbus Crew. They're probably going to lose, but we'll see what happens. St. Louis City SC contra Columbus Crew. La MLS, Jornada 8 de la Domingo Futbolero. We are on our way. Of course, next week we will not have a Domingo Futbolero because WrestleMania Night 2. And it's Easter Sunday. I mean, would it really do good anyway? Even if it wasn't WrestleMania? Probably not. So we do have a week off next week. I still got Denver. I don't think they'll have problems with the clips. Denver. Yeah. I still got Denver for now. With that being said, starting 11 for St. Louis City. Ben Lunt in goal. The back four of Henry Kessler, Kyle Hebert, Timo Baumgartel, Josh Yaro. The midfield three of Marcel Hartel, Conrad Wallum, Alfredo Morales. The front three of Cedric Teukert, João Klaus, Celio Pompeu. And for the Columbus Crew, we have Patrick Schulte. The back four of Mo Farsi, Steven Moreira, Sean Zawadski, Malti Amundsen. The midfield three of Dylan Shambost, Darlington Nagby, Aziel Jackson, Diego Rossi, Jason Russell-Rowe, Max Arfsted. And on the bench is Daniel Gazdag. He will have a chance to play tonight. Oh, we have a playoff, eh? So it did happen. How we doing, Dylan? How we doing? But we have Domingo Futbolero to talk about here. So we go. Did Albert get to that playoff or not? How we doing, Rory? And yes, as things go, we shall see how the playoff schedule for the NHL pans out. There will be a couple of Leafs and Blues streams through the first round, I bet. Well, I'll say yes, especially the Leafs. Maybe some Blues. I don't know. We'll see about that part. The Blues are trying to choke anyway and get knocked out of the playoffs, so. Not pretty. But here we go. You see Busch Stadium in the background. Lovely. Busch 3, I should say. 14 points in the first 8 games. Who knows? Maybe if the Jets do the job they're supposed to, we get a Leafs-Jets Stanley Cup final. And we'll be covering that in mid-June. Early in mid-June. Who knows? That's possible. I actually believe it's possible for the first time in a long time. I believe the Leafs could actually make the Stanley Cup final, and I believe the Jets can too. I don't know if I really thought about the Jets before, but a lot of my hopes for the Leafs were hopes, not really belief. Over the past couple of years. Now I actually believe. They haven't even won a playoff game yet. And now you believe. Yeah, I know. They've been playing playoff hockey recently, though. It's not like they wait to the playoffs to play playoff hockey. Like during the years with Keefe. They're actually playing playoff hockey right now, so. That Habs game, yeah, I watched the whole thing last night because I could. Because the TFC game was over early, so I watched the whole Leafs-Habs game. That was a playoff-level game. Tight. Leafs got the win, though, in overtime. They should have scored more than one goal, but who cares? They won. And they have home ice advantage no matter what, no matter where they finish for the first round. Starting 11 for St. Louis, Ben Lunt. Berkey is still out for another week, I think. Baumgartel, Kessler, Yarrow, the back three. Hebert, Morales, Hartel, Valum in the midfield. Yeah, Dobesh was amazing last night, yeah, for the Habs. Pompeu, Teukert for St. Louis, attacking midfielders. And the striker, João Klaus. Yes. Patrick Schulte, goal for Columbus. Favorite St. Louis player? I think I got to say Hartel. Amundsen, Zawadzki, Moreira, the back three. Klaus was the first season, but Arfston, Nagby, Shambos, Farsi for Columbus defensive midfield. Aziel Jackson, Diego Rossi. It was Aziel, but they traded him. Jason Russell Rowe. It was Klaus, then Aziel. Leuven. I still like Leuven, but right now it's Hartel. I think that's their best player right now as well. That's St. Louis's best player so far right now. If they have anything to do, he's got to be good. So there's a couple, but they traded Aziel, sadly, to Columbus. So he's making his return to St. Louis, by the way. Diego Rossi, the player to watch for Columbus, makes sense. They're wearing their Goosebumps jerseys to Columbus. I think it's the first time I've seen them wear it. St. Louis wearing their city red, which is honestly pink. Maybe I'm colorblind, but I'm not. But that's pink. City red is pink. People are like, this is pink. This is pink. No. Darker, but still. Yeah. Like, the Leafs gave up, 10 shots on the shot counter? It was way more. Like, I will say that much last night, even though the Leafs only gave up 10 shots on goal, and they actually outshot the Habs. No, the Habs had more shots. They just blocked them. The Leafs been doing a really good job blocking shots the past couple of games. Probably. St. Louis, they're very good defensively, but they haven't scored much this year, except the Galaxy game. But, well, we know why that happened. The Galaxy aren't good this year. This year's Galaxy is basically 2018 TFC, except they lost their Seba Juvenko. Pretty much. That's the way I can confirm it or compare it. If Seba was lost by the 2018 TFC team, like Ricky Puig was lost for this Galaxy team, it would have been way worse. 2018 TFC was amazing in CCL, but that basically shot their whole season to hell. But if Seba got hurt, they would have been way worse. The only reason Vanny looks better, the grass looks greener on the other side, is because no other manager for TFC besides Javier Perez was that good, and they ran Perez out the door. So, do that what you will. Do that what you will. St. Louis, they did allow a couple to Kansas City, though. So Columbus is better than that. If it gets ugly, it gets ugly. This game could get ugly. It could for St. Louis. But if they're stingy, who knows? But who knows? If Cucho was still around, yeah, it would get ugly. Columbus looking to tie their longest unbeaten start in franchise history. 8 matches in 2010, 6-0-2. This year they were 4-0-3 in 7 matches. This is their 8th. They could tie. Justin Rose, minus 1166. Rory McIlroy, minus 11 at 73. So we do have a playoff. I can't tell you. Seems more like a Rumble thing than a YouTube thing. I'm kind of shocked YouTube would pick those ads, to be real. But that's a YouTube decision. They're the ones sending you those ads, not me. Again, on YouTube, I can't choose my ads. I can't choose the ads that run. I could choose the placement if I wanted to, but I just let YouTube choose the placement too because it is what it is. So, yeah. It's good Portland won at least. I mean, it's kind of the similar situation. Offensively, they don't really have it. Defensively, they're stingy. It depends on what you want. Like, I think TFC, if they played St. Louis, I think TFC would win. I think TFC is closer to breaking through offensively than St. Louis. I really do. Yeah, they had the win against LA Galaxy, but again, hey, Toronto could have that with Montreal during the Can Champ because I believe Toronto is truly better than Montreal. I think the problem is that's weird. That is weird. I'm a sports channel. I mean, I'm obviously libertarian, but I'm a sports channel. I don't get it. That's just crazy. That's like nobody on YouTube could choose their ads unless they're given a freaking partnership for an in-video ad. So, Rosendo Mendoza's the center ref. I'm as surprised as you are. Daniel Radford, VAR referee. I'm as surprised as you are. I agree with that. And St. Louis to kick off. I'm as confused and surprised as you are. 6 seconds in. I can't think of an answer. I can't believe it exists either. Playing forward. So, let me make this declaration because I guess I have to. Whatever ads you get pre my videos, I do not stand for. That's what YouTube chose. Any ads you get any ads that you get on my videos do not represent my beliefs because I did not choose those ads. I did not choose those ads. Pierre-Luc Lausier. Oh, yeah, he sucks. He sucks. It's like one of those paid programming. Yeah, like whatever paid programming slide they do, like whatever the paid programming does not reflect the views of this station. Yeah, that's. Do I have to throw one of those up? 2 minutes in. Damn. Do I have to throw one of those up? Every video, be like, the ads YouTube places on this video do not reflect the views of this station. I might have to do that. I don't know. I might have to do that. I don't know if it's just you. But I might have to do that. Rossi going forward. Disclaimer. Man. Eh. 3 minutes in. Yeah, honestly. Oh, St. Louis is pressing well there. Columbus is back and forth so far. Playing forward. Oh, bad giveaway. St. Louis. This is so back and forth so far. Vancouver looks like the Netherlands against Canada. Well, Canada hasn't. Oh, what? Oh. Right. I forgot about that game. It wasn't competitive. I had no reason to remember it. I just slipped that under a table or whatever. I slipped that under the desk. In the drawer or whatever. Like in the bottom drawer of the desk where nobody goes. Yeah, there you go. Like the bottom drawer of a desk where nobody goes. Like nobody goes to the bottom drawer. Especially like the bottom right or something. It depends on what hand you use. Depends on your handedness. If you're like left, yeah, I guess so. It's the bottom right. If you're, yeah. I mean, those are better ads to get than the ones Pepita are getting. Three straight matches for St. Louis where they've been shut out 350 minutes without a goal. I mean, your mileage may vary, but I think those are probably better ads to get. Those might just be adware ads, but it's better than what Pepita's getting. You might get catfish. They might actually be real, or it might be adware. Either way, it's better than what Pepita's getting. Rory wins the green jacket. Is it true Messi hates Netherlands? He probably does, yeah. Give me that bobo. Give me that bobo. 6th minute. And I'm going to crash out if that happens. Honestly, if Vancouver beats Miami, Vancouver might win the whole thing. Like, legitimately. Especially if Tigres makes the final. Even if Cruz Azul makes the final, Vancouver might win the whole damn thing. And it's a one-game final. Shot! Under. Shot! Goal! Goal! A header by João Klaus! It was a Toiker. Either way, João Klaus. There's a goal for St. Louis. Wait, did they put the camera on? I'm not sure. João Klaus was part of the play, that's for sure. Well, hey, St. Louis just scored. I think it was João Klaus. 6-minute header. The rebound ends up in the net. That's their first goal in 3 games. And it was scrappy, but they don't ask how. They ask how many. Well, they've been horrible anyway. Pompeu crosses it. It was a Klaus header. There you go. João Klaus header. But they were following Toikert. I thought it was Klaus. I'm like, it wasn't Toikert. No. Klaus. Schulte was beat. How? I thought he was better than that. Dear God. Now, that's not over yet, but St. Louis has the lead. 6 minutes in. Yeah, I did not expect that at all. 1-0. Of course it was greasy. That's how normally you break the slump. Normally you break a slump, it's greasy. It's not pretty, but in most things. Do you see the OFC Champions League final? No, but I heard Meyer Bevin scored 2 goals. Former Calvary man, Meyer Bevin scored 2 goals. It was 2-0. I think it was. Yeah, Meyer Bevin scored 2 goals. Good for him. Why did he leave Calvary? Like, seriously, though. I mean, yeah, he does get to play the Club World Cup, the Intercontinental Cup, almost every year, and then every 4 years if he stays, but I don't get it. Calvary's still a better club. I don't care. You play Calvary against Auckland City, Calvary would still win 9 times out of 10. I respect Calvary. I really do. Even though I'm a Forge fan. I don't feel like there's really any rivals in the CPL. Like, I know Calvary Forge is a rivalry, but I don't see them as a rival. I don't even see York as a rival, really. I root for the CPL as it is. Like, if York was in continental competition, I'll root for York when it comes down to it. So, Auckland's in Boca's group at the Club World Cup. Yeah, they're getting owned. Who knows? Maybe Meyer Bevin will score a goal anyway. He's pretty good. I still don't understand why he left Calvary. Like, if it was for something better, I get it. But for Auckland City, that's less than a sideways move. That's downwards. That's a downwards move. I don't care. Yes, Auckland City are in the Club World Cup and in the Intercontinental Cup. This is true. But they still suck. Just because they're there doesn't mean they're a better club. They just take advantage of an easy confederation to be there. That's just me. Like, yeah, if Calvary played in New Zealand, they would be there. I believe that for sure. Hell, Forge would be there. Along with Benfica and Bayern. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, Auckland City's got like a minus 30 goal differential by the end of the group stage. If they allow less than 30 goals, if they have a less than minus 30 goal differential, they did well. I'd say probably, 3 goals, 4, 33 against, something like that. Probably like 10 goals against per game. That goes wide. I would, I don't even know if I should put money on that. Hell, I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could. It's not like they even got any easy clubs. They got the hardest. I mean, Benfica is still, well, They're doing well right now. They're doing well right now. I think Benfica's coached by Wolves' former coach, yeah? Which they shouldn't have fired him in the first place. But hey, at least Wolves are staying up. Because the promoted 3 are so damn bad. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. It's been, what, 2 straight years? I don't know if we'll ever see a championship promoted club stay up past the first year ever again. Like, I think we're getting to a point where the sad part about the Premier League is whoever gets promoted is getting relegated straight back down. If that Burnley club couldn't stay up, if Company's Burnley couldn't stay up, I felt like Ipswich had a good chance. When the season started, I felt like Leicester had a good chance. If they couldn't do it, I'm starting to think that the promoted clubs are so far behind everybody else that the relegation zone for a good while, probably for the rest of time, is going to be the promoted clubs who go straight back down. Here's Toykert, shot over the bar. Man, that could have been 2. You know what? Yeah, I'm calling it. Because Everton not going down over the past couple of years, that pretty much tells you where the Prem is, I think. And honestly, United has been so bad, but the promoted teams have still been worse. Tottenham has been bad, but the promoted teams have still been worse. Like, 5 years ago, United might actually be in a relegation battle with how bad they are. If you drop this United team into 5 years ago, they might actually be in a relegation battle. The only reason they're not is because the promoted teams are so damn bad that United, even with how bad they are not in a relegation battle. Hell, 10 years ago, for a while, Chelsea were in a relegation battle. They end up finishing 10th. Hell, that first year of Bowley, I was like, oh shit, they might get relegated. Like, there was still questions. Luton Town, whatever happened to them? They got relegated. They might get double relegated. They might get relegated to League One. If they're not careful, which their new coach has been better, but Luton Town might just get double relegated. They are in the relegation zone of the championship, actually, I think, still. Let me check. I know they were the last time I checked, which is a couple of days ago. I got to see when their last match was. They're not far. They could get out of it. They could escape, but Luton, which I hope they do. But see my exact point there. And Leicester might be Luton next year. Because Leicester also, because they're going to get points deductions. Let's not forget that. If they go back to the championship, they're getting points deductions. We know this. We know that Leicester are getting points deduction no matter what. So we know that's happening. They might get double relegated too. Auckland can escape their group. Hell no. Unless a meteor hits the 3 hotels of the other 3 teams in the group, they can't escape. Or 2 of them. Let's see. Luton is still 23rd. Luton lost to Blackburn Rovers, who are 10th. Luton is 4 points off, or 3 points off safety with 4 games to go. Because Chelsea sucks. Well, that was actually more of a Sanchez problem. They did come back, but Sanchez almost threw the game away. So I'm blaming Robert Sanchez, actually. I'll blame him. He sucks. Can Leon escape their group if they are allowed into the tournament? Probably not, but have a better chance in Auckland. Everybody has a better chance in Auckland. Actually, all 3 of the bottom clubs in the championship could save themselves. They're still in position to save themselves with 4 games to go. Plymouth on 40, Luton on 40, Cardiff on 42. Derby County is above on 43. Hull's on 44, Portsmouth on 46. Portsmouth on 46. Pompey. That's Pompey. Pompey on 46. Like, it could happen, but I would hope Luton saves himself. Cardiff City might go down. Ain't that crazy? Wait, whoa. Wait, we're not getting all 3 Welsh teams in the championship next year? We will get a Welsh derby. Well, hold on. No, we will. We'll at least get one Welsh derby with Swansea and Wrexham, but Cardiff might not stay up when Wrexham comes up. I think Wrexham will still come up. Honestly, I still think they'll get automatics. Who should go if not Leon? Well, it's either LAFC or America, so. No, we'll be a CONCACAF team. We know that much. We know it's probably America or LAFC. Watch Messi tie 0-0. I don't understand why they played 4 straight games with all the big guys. That makes no sense. Like, they should have rotated against Toronto or Chicago, but okay. I do realize they're like next week is less busy. Wait. Is that? Huh. Todd Cantwell, who used to play for Norwich and Rangers, went to Blackburn. Huh. Interesting. Didn't know that happened. 18th minute. Damn. 1-0 St. Louis. Oh, Caleb Wiley. Playing for Watford. Was on Team of the Week. That's good. Well, good for him. They won't talk about it on Football Americas, I bet. That was round 41, actually. That was last week. But they didn't talk about it. That's out for a corner for some reason. Heard it's going to be Al Nassr who replaces Leon. That shouldn't happen. Like they said, there was going to be an America versus LAFC playoff. But I guess if Cristiano, they're like, hey, you know what? This is the opportunity. But that'd be wrong. Like, they could be like, it's a wild card spot now, not just a CONCACAF spot, which would be some of the most bullshit stuff ever heard. But then again, that's what FIFA's been doing recently, eh? Why? I know that's because they have him, but the rumor was America versus LAFC playoff game for the final spot. So you're basically telling me that was either a bullshit report or you're hearing bullshit because people are speculating about Cristiano. '20th minute. Well, good thing that's not what I want. Playing forward. Columbus playing forward, crosses in, cleared away. Somehow St. Louis is not giving anything up. Jason Aziel plays. There is Aziel. Farsi. Jason Farsi, Aziel. There we go. Suarez should retire. His legs are gone. I agree. I think he's done. I think he's actually done this time. You're probably right, but hey, you still have the freaking 6 loan move rule. If you could get Cristiano going to Monterrey for like for the month. They might try that. Or maybe they know it's not happening, so that's why Al Nassr got rumored is like, it's not happening. Maybe now FIFA knows that 1 month loan for Cristiano to Monterrey is not happening, so maybe that's why the scuttlebutt for Al Nassr is happening now. I'm not saying they made the 6-player loan rule for Cristiano, but it definitely would have helped their situation. Cross in. The Blue Jays lead the AL East as they return to Toronto for their first home series since Vladdy Jr.'s long-term extension announcement. Well, man, I can't believe those words are true. The Blue Jays are top of the AL East. I did not expect that at all. Stop the count. Stop the count. Start the playoffs today. Stop the count. Stop the count. I mean, Santander should only get better, though, for being real. The Jays they'll make the playoffs, I think. Yaro's down. I mean, with the way the Jays started, the fact they're first, I mean, they should make the playoffs. But Santander should only get better, especially home run-wise. Andres Jimenez is on fire. Vladdy should only get better. They're already first. Hooked on a feeling. Da, da, da. Hit hooked on a feeling. Let's go. Lol. Messi wins the Club World Cup. I'm never watching a FIFA tournament again. You won't watch the USA World Cup? Sacrilege! Or should Onana go? He's linked to Saudi Arabia. Retire. That's where he should go. He should retire. He's that bad. He should retire. Forget going to Saudi. Just retire. Just retire. That's how bad you are. Just retire. Onana should retire. That's where he should go. Retire. Get out! I have Onana in Portugal's second division. He's not even good enough for that. He's not even good enough for that. He's not even good enough for that. Send him. No. Oh, Lord. Disregard the StreamYard link. I freaking can't stand. Says go crew. Disregard. Boom. I'm just saying he sucks. That's all. 25th minute, 1-0 St. Louis. There you go. They're down, which is just crazy to expect. I can't believe St. Louis has a 1-0 lead on them. I can't believe it. I'll take it, but said this game could go ugly. It did not. Well, it still can, but Cruz definitely had their moments. It's definitely been punch for punch. Back and forth. It definitely has been. I will say that much. Was a greasy goal. I'd say slightly St. Louis has had the first half because they have the lead. And St. Louis has the lead. I'll say they lean the better team of the first half, but it's definitely punch for punch, back and forth. Man United haven't helped him much, to be fair. True, but Onana hasn't helped his case when it comes to starting freaking beefs. He hasn't helped himself, running his mouth to Matic, and then a day later, Leon makes him look stupid. The goals against him were his fault. Like, the goals against him weren't even just goals against him. The goals against him were his fault. He was like, I've actually won trophies at this club, unlike some other goalkeepers, taking a shot at De Gea, who was the goalkeeper when Matic was there. Of course. And then, the next day, the goals against him were his mistakes. So, he ain't helping himself either. They ain't helping him, but he ain't helping himself. He might not be that bad, but don't run your mouth when 24 hours later, aka don't write checks with your mouth your ass can't cash. Or F around and find out. Do that what you will. Or F around and find out. Either way. Either way. Playing forward, St. Louis. Oh, Lord. Good clearance by St. Louis. Nagby almost was in behind. I love Nagby, but dude, you can't. He's a legend, but you can't do that. Not now. Not in 2025. Not in big 2025 should you let Darlington Nagby almost get in behind. No. No, you shouldn't. Not in big 2025. No. No way. Saved by Lunt. Be a goal kick. Nagby's a legend. I'm a fan of him. Always will be. But you can't, no. Not in big 2025. No. CPL streams coming. We'll see. We'll see. I would hope to do some this season, yes. Can Champ is what? Of course, Can Champ is coming, but CPL league matches, we'll see how things look. But we'll try to get some going this season besides the CPL final. Try to see how many Forge games I could do before the CPL final. Won't promise anything, but I would hope at least a couple. Of course, Toronto plays same day, summer tournaments. I mean, with the Can Champ, CPL final, there should be, of course, the 2 Forge games during the Champions Cup. There should be a good amount of Forge games I do this year, and CPL games, but mostly Forge. Mostly. If it is, it's mostly Forge. As one of the teams. 30th minute. Mobile 1 will help with that. Hey, Mobile 1 will help with that. Maybe it won't be so noisy if you put Mobile 1. Mobile 1, put it in your engine. Mobile 1, the oil for you. Mobile 1 keeps things running smoothly. Mobile 1, it's a great lubricant. Oh dear, that didn't work. I think the only person who would have appreciated that meme's not here, but okay. That reference is not here, but okay. Ben Lunt goal kick. Maybe if you use Mobile One, it wouldn't be noisy. Sounds like a problem with lubrication of why it's noisy. Goal kick for Schulte, 32nd minute. 1-0 St. Louis. Good steal there. St. Louis. Klaus header wide. He almost had another greasy header. Maybe he needed some Mobile One to make sure. Greasy one. Wait. Does that mean the Leafs won? Hold on. Leafs won, baby. Let's go. Leafs win. 4-1 over the Carolina Hurricanes. Wait, 4-1. And we got outshot 26-19. Okay, that's fine. 4-1 Leafs. Let's go. Let's go. Go, Leafs, go, baby. Let's go. You. Ah. That's a point away. The Leafs have 104 points. The Lightning, let's see how they're doing. They are beating the Sabres. All right. So the Leafs have to win their next game. If the Leafs beat the Sabres, goal kick for Lunt. The Leafs beat the Sabres, they'll be top of the Atlantic. It's that simple. It's 1 point. The magic number is 1 point to win the division. 1 point. Either a Lightning point dropped or a Leafs point gain. So, hell, even if they lose in overtime, they'll still win the division. There you go, boys. Let's go. 100. Free kick for St. Louis. "35th minute. Header. Free kick for Schulte. Playing forward. "35th minute. One 0 St. Louis, and somehow they're still holding on. Cross in, header away. So, the Leafs are a win away of their final 2 games they will win the division. They win one of their final 2 games, they win the division, because the best the Lightning can do if they hold on against the Sabres tonight would be 104. The Leafs are already at 104. The Leafs have to win one of their next 2 games, and it's the Sabres and Red Wings, who both are horrible this year. So they should do it. Tuesday or Thursday, they should do it. It's that simple. They should do it. They should do it. 1 win, maybe 2. If they get both, that would be 108 points. 108 points for the Leafs if they get both, which means they have home ice against everybody in the West, or the East, I should say, except the Capitals, which is obvious. They will have home ice against everybody in the West with 108 points. Well, except the Jets, Stars, and Golden Knights. But, well, I mean, the Golden Knights could still drop the rest of their points. Come to comebacks or the Kings won't even have 108 points if the Leafs went out. Well, there you go. All right. Oilers, Blues. Blues have 1 game left to play, which is the Utah. They're playing Utah at home Tuesday. 38th minute. They have to win that. It's that simple. So there you go. 38th minute. America were invited to Club World Cup. Would they make it out of their group? I think they have a small chance. I think they could find a way to get out of the group. Yeah. Pompeo gets a yellow card, 39th minute, 1-0, St. Louis. Let's see. 76% possession for Columbus. Okay. So St. Louis got a greasy one, and they're just hoping to defend this game out. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, that definitely. Yeah, Columbus definitely has had more possession since. It was back and forth up until the goal. And then maybe for another 10 minutes, and then Columbus has started to chase this game. But you really don't want to be in that position if you're St. Louis. No foul? I don't know. See, I think Columbus probably has been the better team as this half is going. 76% possession. Jesus Christ. 6 shots to 5. So they have more shots too, which makes sense. I mean, on paper, America's a better team than ES Tunis, and Chelsea, well, they just suck. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea went and blew it against America either, because they're Chelsea. They should win that game for sure. They have beat them a year ago in the preseason. But knowing Chelsea, they might just blow it anyway. 40th minute. They might just blow it anyway. Just like they did against Ipswich. Who thought that would happen? Who thought that would happen? Right. Both games. Right. Nobody. 41st minute. Playing forward. Columbus 2, Capitals 1. Damn. So the Habs are starting to throw in for St. Louis. Capitals are getting their looks. Man, the Habs. Ugh. Well, don't they just have to win tomorrow anyway? What do you call? I mean, you should beat Chicago, so do with that what you will. 43rd minute. Header saved. You know what? I might watch that game. Oh, wait, no. Raw's on tomorrow. Okay, either way. My bad. If Raw wasn't on, I would. Cena might show up tomorrow. Who knows? He probably won't, but what if he did? Surprise show up. I mean, it is the Raw before Mania. Please laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny. Why would I laugh? It's not funny. Your joke wasn't funny. 43rd minute. I mean, how's the game going? St. Louis is leading 1-0. Columbus has definitely been chasing it since the goal, though. Columbus has probably been the better team in the first half, knowing they've had more possession and holding it. Please clap. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, Jeb, I'll clap. Yeah, I'll clap, Jeb. Another poll comes in, I'm down to 7th place. Another month of this and I'll be out the race. '44th minute. You're more funny. Think Columbus can win? I mean, they have more possession, more shots. The fact they're down shocks me. They could definitely win if they put more shots on target. If it stays 1-0 by the time Gazdag gets in, yeah, they should win, frankly. It's not like St. Louis are playing that well. They got a greasy goal. They've just been lucky. '45th minute. '45th minute. Let's see. How much stoppage time do we have? 1-0 St. Louis. 5 minutes. That makes sense. With the injury and all that. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, 50 minutes of football. Ay, ay. '46th minute. Jeb. I was making a please clap Jeb Bush joke, not Jeff. But okay. Jeb. Equalizer, of course. Of course. It was bound to happen. Columbus plays it forward. Rossi plays it through. Cross. Shot. Goal. 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 Steven Moreira with a laser. 1-1. Yeah, that was about to happen. Steven Moreira with a laser just What a volley. There it is, 1-1. 45 plus 1. There's the goal for Columbus. Steven Moreira. What a volley. Ball crossed in. He's right there. Boom. There it is for Columbus. That's the goal they've been looking for. What a shot. I can't even get mad at that. Boom. Lunt was frozen. Boom. There you go. Max Arfston with a cross. Steven Moreira out of nowhere. What a shot. What a shot. Wow. There it is. 47th minute. 45 plus 1. 45 plus 2 is the goal. Okay. 45 plus 2. I mean, if you're a St. Louis fan, you take the 1-1 draw at the half. But it's going to get worse. It's going to be worse. What a shot, though. I can't even get mad at that. That was amazing. What a laser. Arfston with an amazing cross. Just a perfect lobbed ball. I mean, the way Columbus is being playing, you know they're going to come back. It's a wonder it's only 1-1. It's a wonder it's 1-1. I didn't think it would last. It was a 6-minute goal for St. Louis that was greasy. I didn't think it would last. The fact it's lasted this long. Yeah. Talented. She's talented. And beautiful. But she's very talented, yes. She's very talented. Just wide. Ozzie Jackson puts it wide. 49th minute. Ninth minute. %71 possession to 29. 1 more minute to go. There you go. 20 seconds. '50th minute. And that's halftime. It's halftime. It's 1-1. Halftime, it's 1-1. Columbus gets the goal back. They equalize. I'm not surprised with how this game's gone. I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. The way this half's gone, 1-1's fair. 1-1's definitely fair. St. Louis probably shouldn't even have had a lead, but they did for most of the half. Then they just let frickin' Columbus chase it, which that's not surprising, but of course. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going. Sit tight, we'll be back. Second half's going to be crazy for Columbus. St. Louis is probably just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse for them. So with that being said, "45 more minutes. We'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, and we'll see how the second half goes. I don't think it'll be good for St. Louis. I'll tell you that much right now. Sit tight, be back. 1-1. We're back for the stats at the half. It's 1-1 for both teams, 1 goal each. Stats of the half, we have 24% possession to 76% possession, 6 shots to 11, 3 shots on goal to 4, 68 accurate passes, 62% to 314, 91%, 10 fouls to 5, 0 corners to 4, 6 shots to 11, 3 shots on goal to 4, 110 passes to 346, 62% pass accuracy to 91% pass accuracy, 6 throws to 10, 1 offside to 1, 1 yellow card to 0, 0 red cards to 0. St. Louis had the lead for most of the first half. That's the shocking part. Columbus, it was back and forth until about the 15th minute. Then Columbus started to chase the game, get more possession, and really threaten St. Louis onto scoring a goal to tie the game up. Then they did in stoppage time. Honestly, Columbus should have scored more goals. Let's just be real. Columbus should have scored more than what they did. The fact it was only 1-1 at the half is really good for St. Louis, but you can't sit here and be like, oh, it's going to stay that way. No. Will St. Louis come back and take the lead again? Probably not. Probably not. There's no damn way. Probably not. There's no damn way. I would say very likely that St. Louis is probably going to lose this game. Not that they've given up that goal. I feel like St. Louis is going to lose this game. I think that's where we are at this point. Klaus getting that greasy header was good for St. Louis. At least they have a tie at the half, but I don't see Columbus either pulling off the gas pedal. And honestly, if they score, they have no reason to pull off the gas pedal. They don't. Because the way St. Louis is playing, St. Louis, I don't think they pulled off the gas pedal per se. They had their moments even after their goal, even after the first 15 minutes. What I think they did is that Columbus is the better team. They're better at keeping possession. They keep a lot of possession no matter what. Like, for St. Louis to be the team to finally beat Columbus this year, with the fact that Columbus is unbeaten in 7, looks like they'll be unbeaten in 8. But St. Louis, it's hard for them to score goals, and they barely allow any. You know, you sit here, you're like, okay. I think the best case scenario for this game was a draw. Always going to be a draw. The problem is that it's probably going to turn out to be a loss for St. Louis. I think Columbus will get their moments to take the lead and probably not even pull off the gas once they do take the lead. So we'll see what happens. But with that being said, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Brown White, 4 goals for the Whitecaps. I mean, he's really good. He's that good. What can I say? He's that good. If only Toronto had a striker like Brian White. Question is with his play style, would he even have the opportunities to score those amount of goals? Probably not. Probably not. But I know why you have a upside down. But we'll see how the second half goes. Bayern is 6 points above Bayer Leverkusen with 5 matches to play. I say Bayern blows it. I say Bayern blows it and Leverkusen wins the league. I say Bayern blows it. But we'll wait for the second half to start. Let's see. That's 5 minutes till the second half starts. 1-1. Bundesliga, boom. All right. Second half about to start. There you go, boom. So Bayern Munich plays Heidenheim, which is, oh, they might get relegated. Oh, Heidenheim might get relegated. Damn. Went from a Conference League team to possibly getting relegated. Let's see if they fired. They did not fire their manager. Okay. At least they didn't fire him. That would be... Damn. Heidenheim lost 3-0 to Frankfurt. 1-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. Ooh. St. Pauli playing Leverkusen, so they're both playing bottom. A team who barely... Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Heidenheim would have to play the third place. Okay, that's fine. Well, that's the good news, is Heidenheim would have to play the playoffs. They still have a chance to stay up even after the final game of the season. They'd have the two-legged tie if they do stay in 16th place. That's the good news for them. St. Pauli, just above. But Heidenheim has to be careful, because if they're not, let's see their final fixtures. Munich, Stuttgart, Bochum. Well, they're playing Bochum. That might be the decider of who plays the playoff or not. They do play Bochum. Okay? They do play Bochum. That might be the decider. Stuttgart, Union Berlin, Werder Bremen. Yeah, that Bochum game might be the decider for Heidenheim. All right. They might go down. All right, matches. So, but yes, Bayer Leverkusen plays St. Pauli. Bayern Munich plays Mainz. They play Mainz. The next match after the Heidenheim match, which is 5th place. So Bayern could drop points there. Bayer Leverkusen plays Augsburg, which is 10th. So Leverkusen should win that. So if Bayern drops points to Mainz, that would be 72 points. You say Leverkusen wins the 2 matches, 66, 69. So 73 to 69. Gazdag coming on at the half. That's about, what, 4 points down? So if it's 66 to 72. 69 to 73. So 4 points down on Bayern would be Leverkusen if those results are the case. Bayern plays Leipzig. If Leipzig, who are 4th, Bayern drops points to Leipzig, they'd have 74 points. If Bayer beats Leverkusen beats, hold on, Freiburg, 6th place, I think they would. They'd only be down 2 points. Then Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach is 7th. Leverkusen plays Dortmund. Ooh. Well, then Leverkusen plays Mainz. Munich plays Hoffenheim. Problem is Bayer Leverkusen ends the season with a hard game. Bayern Munich doesn't, so we're going to see how that goes. But you know what? I'm going to call it. Bayern Munich loses the league. I'm going to call it. Bayern Munich chokes. I'm going to call it. Bayern Munich chokes. Bayer Leverkusen wins the league. I'm calling it now. Second half about to start. I say it happens. I mean, Bayern plays some hard teams over the next couple of weeks past the Heidenheim game. They end with an easy game. They have an easy game next week. So they start this little run-in with an easy game and end it with an easy game. But in between, they play some hard teams. Bayer Leverkusen could have winnable run. What is it, Isaiah? What shop is better? 45th minute. It ain't Duncan, I hope. We're off. St. Louis 1-1. Let's see how the second half goes. Ozzie L. Jackson is off for Gazdag. Gazdag gets his first touch as a Columbus player. 7 Brew. That must be Colorado because I've never heard of 7 Brew. I know St. Louis just got a Dutch Bros, though. Playing forward. 7 Brews all over the country. We'll see how it goes. Playing forwards, 46th minute. Forty-seventh minute, 1-1. Forty-seventh minute. Because every belt they used on Friday night SmackDown when Cody had his promo were all replicas. What? People are like, the spinner belt looks bad. I'm like, no, on SmackDown, every belt. No. Because every belt that they used for Cody's promo were replica versions. Everyone was a replica. '48th minute. Saved by Schulte. Oh, well, there you go. Well, yeah, that ain't far. It's closer to Chesterfield, though. But, yeah, it's not far. Yeah, it's closer to Chesterfield. So there's one close to Chesterfield. Got it. Okay. St. Peter's and Chesterfield. Got it. 48th minute. '49th minute. Columbus is 2-0-0 when conceding first this season, so I didn't say anything was bad about the spinner. I was just saying that, and nobody was complaining about it. They were just saying it looked different on Friday night, which, because it was a replica. 51st minute that they used on Friday night. But yeah, I love the spinner belt. Cool. 51st, 50th minute. Free kick for Columbus. Header cleared away. Right, yeah. It's 51st. Yeah, the field flipped. 51st minute. Playing forward. Columbus pressing. Arfston. Ball's out for a throw for St. Louis. Watts. "52nd minute. "52nd minute. Oh! Well, at least it was on the other way of the field. Horrible giveaway by Toykert, but it doesn't lead to anything badly. But damn, he could have made a run. 1-1, 53rd minute. Playing forward, 53rd minute. 1-1. Morales. Well, there you go. 54th minute. Ooh. Columbus, it's kind of cooled down, which is weird. And there's a goal for Columbus. Rossi takes the lead. Yep, there it is. Rossi scores. 2-1 Columbus. And there's the lead for the Crew, which it's bound to happen. Rossi 2-1. See. Chambos plays through to Gazdag. Chambos makes the run. Keeps running. Plays it on to Rossi. Rossi steps up and takes a shot. And Ben Lunt. Dude, he should have had that. Come on, man. I know it's Rossi, but dude, he should have had that. If you're a goaltender, tend the goal. Diego Rossi scores. Should have had that. If that was like halfway up the net or top bins, I get it. But no. He should have had that. 2-1. It's fine. Crew gets a second. That's fine. Happened just like that. If you're a goalie, tend the goal. 55th minute. 1-2. I expected that to happen. I'm not even mad about it. If it was Toronto, I might be mad about it. Well, I'm a little bit mad about it because of the way it went down. But if it was Toronto, I'd be a lot more mad about it. I'm not really mad about it. It's fine. It's fine. I expected that. Probably would have expected it with Toronto as well, but, you know, I'd still be pissed about it. There's the difference. I really just had a chance to use the line. If you're a goalie, tend the goal. So there you go. Playing forward. 47th minute, Farsi. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. Playing forward. '58th minute. Sounds good. 58th minute. '58th minute. Free kick for St. Louis. Free kick. That's going to be saved by Schulte. '59th minute. Cheap smash burger spot that makes the best burgers in LA, apparently. It's called Window. But that does sound pretty good. '59th minute. Toykert is off for Betcher. Yeah, that does sound pretty good right now. 60th minute. 1-2. Throw in. Header down. That's going to go forward for Columbus. Nothing for St. Louis there. 61st minute. Gazdag. Rossi. Cross in. Header by Jason Russell Rowe. Looping. Cleared off the line. If that wasn't looping, that wouldn't have been cleared off the line. This game would have been over if that ball wasn't looping in the air. Playing forward, 62nd minute. Wow. 1-2, Columbus. Second minute. $63rd minute. Playing forward. This was the header. Just looping, boom, cleared. Okay, maybe it wasn't exactly on the line, but also because it was looping, probably kept it off the line. 63rd minute. Columbus playing forward, 64th minute. Playing forward. 64th minute. Nagby running backwards. Playing forward. Columbus, and that's going to be cleared away by St. Louis. 65th minute. Columbus has the lead 2-1, and I'm surprised it ain't 3. Betcher making the run. Free kick. Corner. Well, no, it's free kick for St. Louis, but pretty much a short corner. with the positioning it's in. Pretty much. Zawadzki fouled Betcher as he was running for the ball. Off the ball. That was stupid. Pretty much. I mean, it was. Free kick for Hartel. 66th minute. Cross in. Punched. Oh! Out for another corner. Well, an actual corner, but 67th minute. Hartel with the corner cross. Header down, shot, goal, goal. Oh, offside, Klaus. He is offside. They lift the flag and he didn't notice it till later. Offside, still 1-2. Klaus puts one back of the net, but it's going to, well, we'll see if they check it, but let's see. No, I don't think he was offside. I don't know. Last defender, I don't think he was offside. I think that's a bad call. I think it's a bad call. I think they should check it. I think that's a bad call. I think he was just online. I think he was online with the last defender. From that look. I feel like this should be checked. I understand why he did. I don't think he was offside. I think he popped in that shot. I think it should count. That looks onside. Yeah, I think so too. But pro is pro, so we'll see what happens. I think he's on at the final with the final defender. I think he's on with Zawadzki. Guess it isn't. Awfully close. Goal kick. Nope, he still has. Yep, it is a goal kick. It is offside. Stays offside, 1-2. Yep, pro referees don't overturn it. Of course they don't. I hate pro. Playing forward. Columbus, 70th minute. '70th minute. Nice. '70th minute, 20 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Then there will be a review for this match. And then we're off till Thursday. off the header. I don't. Okay. 71st minute. We'll review this game once it's over, and then I'm off till Thursday. After review, I'm off till Thursday because no Champions Cup this week. Of course, we have the second leg of the Chelsea tie. If they didn't start the Chelsea tie a week later, I'd be off this whole week up until Saturday. And then off Sunday for WrestleMania. So a very less busy week. Lol. I can see why it was fun then, Blitzo. I could see why it was fun. How we doing, Tim? I'm doing good. 1-2 Columbus. St. Louis got jobbed by that offside call, but it's pro. Of course they get jobbed. Oh, Betcher! Oh, no! Wide! Betcher pounces on a horrible pass by the Crew, and he puts it wide. No! Schulte, Zawadzki with a horrible pass. Betcher was right there, and he just puts it wide. No. How about those Jays? I can't believe they're first place. Stop the count. Stop the count. First place, stop the count. They should only get better, though. Santander's only going to get better when the weather gets warmer. Vladdy's going to start hitting homers. Jimenez is already good. The pitching's got to get better. Like, I legit don't see how they, with the way the AL East is started, I don't see how the Jays don't win the division, or at least finish second. Like, let's be real. I think the Jays might win the division this year. I know it's early, but everything should get better for them. The Sox suck, but I kind of expected that. I kind of expected the Sox to fall apart or play worse than expected. People were like, oh, the Sox are going to be great. Nope. I expected this. I was like, yeah, the Sox will fail. Orioles, they'll have their moments. The Rays, they're worse than I expected, but I didn't think the Rays would be that good. Yankees are questionable. I'll take it. So I'll take it where it is. Like, the Red Sox aren't as good. Bregman signed with the wrong AL East team. Well, he could have signed with the Jays. Like, the Jays were rumored for him, and they still needed a third baseman. You know, I wouldn't have minded it. Bregman, Bo, Jimenez, Vladdy, Kirk. Shit, that should have happened. Santander, they could have got both. Like, they would have went for both. Santander, the outfield. Varsho when he's healthy. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah, Bregman should have picked the Jays. Springer, Varsho, Santander. Hey, and George Springer and Bregman would have been teammates again. That sucks. But I had a feeling the Red Sox would take a swing in the offseason and then fail anyway. So far. It's early, but so far. Could be worse. It could be the Braves. I can't believe Atlanta is so bad. Atlanta has had a really horrible start. The Cardinals are better than Atlanta. The Jays, of course, are, but even the Cardinals are better than Atlanta at this point, which is just... It's not like it's good for the Cardinals, but they've had a better start. I expected the Mets to win the East. I just thought the Braves could make the playoffs. No. The Braves are going to have a bad year. I think the Braves are going to be like the Blue Jays last year. I expect so much better, and then it doesn't happen. Like, I expected the Cardinals to suck last year. Hell, I expect them to suck this year. But will they be as bad as the Braves? We'll see how it finishes. But yeah, I think the Braves are taking the Blue Jays spot from last year. Expect so much better. They just have a horrible, hellish season. is what it looks like, which I've just chose MLS games so far this year. I could have done more Liga MX games, but I chose MLS games. There were a lot of Sunday St. Louis games. I was like, you know what? I should do their games. I should do more of their games. I've kind of wanted to do more of their games, and then they got a lot of Sunday games, and then the one game Toronto played on Sunday, St. Louis played on Saturday. So they do put some really good MLS games on Sunday now. Normally they didn't, which is what helped Liga MX. And then with the playoffs, if the Leafs go deeper in the Stanley Cup playoffs than they normally do, I'm going to focus on the Leafs and not the Liga MX playoffs. So, but that's possible. Remember 2023 when they almost ruined the Liga for some people? They were like, you should do the Liga instead of the Leafs-Panthers. I was like, no. The Leafs made the second round. They might make the third. So, and then again, it seems like the Liga is starting earlier this year anyway, so it might get taken out by the first round anyway, by the Leafs. So there you go. So until the fall, maybe. Until the fall, it may be the case. I mean, of course, I'll still have the CONCACAF games and then the Club World Cup games, but Liga MX games itself, they might be gone till the fall. That might be the case. Depends on how good the Leafs do, and, well, it seems like the Liga is starting earlier anyway, so. Which is weird because it's April, not 0-16. 0-16 Cubs versus Dodgers was crazy. There's always bad games, even for good teams. Henry, there's a proverb that says you win a third of your baseball games and you lose a third. It's the other third that decides how your season goes. The Dodgers were still losing a third of their games. I hate to tell you. Like, I don't care how good the Dodgers are. I don't care how good their lineup is. They're still losing a third of their games. They might win 100 games and lose 62. Hell, they might win 120 games, but that's one of the games that the Cubs game is one of the games they lose. It's hard to go 162-0. It's impossible. Let's just be real. It's impossible. You're going to lose a third of your games during a baseball season, at least. That's just the truth. Any baseball, you're going to lose a third of your games. If you lose less than a third, you're an all-time team, even if you can't win the World Series. Seattle. So, they just saved some of their losses for the playoffs that one year. Or who knows? Maybe some liberals who have their hair on fire saying, oh, the Dodgers should have never visited Trump. That's going to ruin their season. Maybe they'll be right, which, you know what? For the first time ever, I hope they're right. Because I don't want the Dodgers to win. That's why. I don't want them to be right because I don't want them to be right. I want the Dodgers to choke. Preferably the Blue Jays in the World Series, but, preferably. Sometimes that happens. Maybe the Dodgers did choke or curse themselves. I don't know. I mean, they're never right, but this is the one time I hope they're right. And they're never right about, they're never right. Hair on fire, you're never right, but I hope you are because I don't want the Dodgers to win. So it'd be funny to see them lose. it won't be funny for that part, but the Habs need to take care of their business tomorrow. Yeah, I think they will. One for Monday Night Raw, I'd be watching the game, but I hope y'all win. Because I'd love to see the Chicago Blackhawks lose. Because I want to see the Habs make the playoffs, and I want to see Chicago lose, but I can't because Monday Night Raw is on, so... Playing forward, cross in, header cleared. So, the Leafs are a point away from clinching the Atlantic. If the Lightning loses their next game or only picks up a point in their next game, which they're playing Florida, Tampa is in their next game. If they don't win or they only pick up a point, the Leafs will win the division no matter what happens against the Sabres on Tuesday. I'll certainly be watching that game, though, on my own. Hmm. 82nd minute. Avs versus Stars series finally confirmed for real. It's going to feed families. I think the Avs win. I think the Avs will beat the Stars. I think that's my prediction. I also think the Oilers are going to lose to the Kings. I think the LA Kings are going to win. I think the LA Kings are going to beat the Oilers in the playoffs. I think that's... I don't see the Oilers beating the Kings. I don't. And the Kings are, for some reason, the underdog when it comes to the betting markets. I definitely want to fade the Oilers if I could, because I think the Kings are winning that series. I do. Jets versus a wild card team. We'll see who they play. Stars defending a suspect like the Oilers defending. Well, I just said the Avs would beat the Stars, so. 83rd minute. Well, the Leafs are definitely going in hot to the playoffs. There's been 4 teams to win over the last 10 years going in hot. 2 teams who've gone in even win 2 cups. Taha coming on for Diego Rossi, and then 4 teams who've gone in cold won the cup over the last 10 years. Well, the Leafs are going in hot. The hottest they ever have. Well, they get more wins than teams going in even, that's for sure. Also lose more games going in even, but there you go. Nothing else. It strikes me that the teams who went in cold, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Tampa, already won a recent cup. Except the Avs. So 3 out of 4. So, hey. '85th minute. Interesting. It's more likely, if I do something on Tuesday, it's more likely this week that isn't the Chelsea game. It's more likely I do the Leafs-Sabres game on Tuesday to see if watch the Leafs win the division for the first time ever. That wasn't the Canadian, an actual division win for the Atlantic era, for the current era of setups. If I do anything, it's going to be that game. I'm not sure. I might put it to a vote. But if I do anything that wasn't that one Chelsea game on Thursday and then the TFC game on Saturday this week, it's going to be the Leafs-Sabres game because my luck, I do it, then the Leafs lose. But if when the Leafs play the Sabres, they win the division. Hold on. The Leafs play the Sabres 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Let's look at the Lightning. It might not even matter because I don't think the Lightning's playing tomorrow, but they play on Tuesday at 6:30 against the Panthers. So Tuesday is the earliest the Leafs could clinch the division. Ostrak and Joyner coming on for STL. Woll or Stollers and net Stollers. I love Joseph Woll, but Stollers it's Stolly's net. It's Stolly's net. It has to be. It has to be Stollers. The fact it's a discussion's a good thing, but for all the right reasons. It's a discussion for all the right reasons. Stollers or Woll, but Stollers easy. It's Stolly's net. Like Woll has his nights, he's awesome, but I think Stolly has had the better season. There was a little bit of time where Woll fumbled a little bit. Fumbled a little bit. Stollers. Jets win the President's Trophy. I think the Blues will. I might have to do some Blues-Jets streams as well if it ends up that way. I do not have a hockey sweater yet. I have the Leafs t-shirt, but I don't have a hockey sweater yet. They cost way too damn much. Like, I will say this. The Adidas jerseys were good. I hear the Fanatics jerseys when it comes to hockey aren't so bad. Baseball, they are. But hockey, I haven't heard a problem with the hockey jerseys. From what I've heard and read, I haven't heard people complaining about the hockey sweaters when Fanatics have made them. There might be still some Adidas ones on sale that aren't that different anyway, unless you're an Anaheim Ducks fan from last year. It was last year, right? This is the first year of Fanatics. Yeah, last year, I think it was the last year of Adidas. So they might be on clearance. The only thing different is they have like those pock marks at the shoulder, depending on what version you get. They don't have those on the Fanatics, but it's the same jersey build besides those pock marks when it comes to the Adidas jersey. So I don't think they change much. So they didn't change the collar. They took off the pock marks, but whatever that was, but yeah. Well, yeah, Isaiah just got one. Cross in off the free kick. Header saved by Schulte with 1 minute plus stoppage time to go. Well, there you go. But yeah, it looked the same, so I'm not surprised. But I had no problems with the Adidas jerseys, and then I didn't think Fanatics changed much. Unlike the baseball jerseys, because Fanatics are making the jerseys for Nike, and Nike just puts their logo on them. In the past 2 years, they did change the size of the names back to normal, but I don't like the Nike baseball jerseys or the Fanatics baseball jerseys. But hockey is fine. The new Ducks home jersey, yeah. Substitutions for Columbus right before stoppage time. 1-2 for 6 minutes of stoppage time. Can St. Louis get the draw? Probably not. Moreira's off. Sadich is on. Amar Sadich is on. The Nike baseball jerseys fit weird. Well, the Fanatics ones. I have a Nike one when they were still Majestic based. When they were still the Majestic style. I have the powder blue Blue Jays Nike one that's the Majestic style. Those are fine. that one's fine, but I don't have anything from the past 2 years yet, which I do have the City Connect hat. I probably should buy the City Connect jersey, but I probably would do that now that the names are bigger. And Vladdy. I think it's time to get a Vladdy jersey now. I mean, 27 is my favorite number, and well, Vladdy is going to be there for 14 more years. I think it's time to get the Vladdy jersey. City Connect, probably. I think it's time to get the Vladdy jersey. Devils jersey's fine. Chicago, no. It's not dope. You're crazy. It's not just because I hate Chicago, but that jersey is not. No, it's boring. It's original 6. I don't like Chicago's sweater. I don't. Devils, though, I do like the Devils sweater. I do. Especially that alternate, like the white stripes with the jersey script. I love that alternate. Chicago set sucks. Always have. It always has. And that's not biased. That's just, it always has. It's always been bad. Even though they're sluggish tonight, the President's Trophy is well-deserved. I agree. I mean, when you have a Vezina-level goalie, you should. But the Jets have had a really good season. It's probably the best season I've ever seen them have since they've came back to Winnipeg. So, deserved. It's good. I'm happy to see the Jets be good. I have nothing against the Winnipeg Jets. Now, they've always kind of seemed like the Leafs to me, weirdly enough, you know. Like, the Leafs have been good, the Jets have been good, but they just can't get it done. I kind of feel, I won't lie, I kind of feel a kinship with the Jets. They're just like the Leafs. And they got the guy that we didn't get when Line A was there. Of course, he left, but they finished second in that draft lottery. They got Line A. Three minutes. We got Matthews. It feels you shouldn't be afraid of the Caps. Will the Jets stop choking this year? I know the Leafs will, but wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny? If they don't choke to the Blues, I don't see the Jets choking. Well, I don't know about the final, but yeah, I don't. If the Jets don't choke to the Blues, I don't see the Jets choking. I'm going to be real. I still think the Jets are better than the Avs or Stars. I do believe that. I believe that. Do I think the Blues could beat them? Yes. I think the Blues can beat them. That might be a little bit more biased than it was a week ago, but, you know, I don't know. But if they don't choke to the Blues, I don't think the Jets will choke. I think the Blues are their biggest hurdle, weirdly enough. I don't think anybody out of the Pacific. The Kings, maybe? Like, if the Kings play the Jets, could I see that going the wrong way? Yeah, but they'll at least be in the conference final. But if they don't choke to the Blues, I don't see them. We'll see what happens. Gazdag! Offside. We'll see what happens. But, like, Jets-Leafs, a Jets-Leafs Stanley Cup final would kind of be poetic, ironically enough. The two teams who've had problems choking the most over the past decade in the playoffs, more like 8 years, play each other in the Stanley Cup final, and they're both Canadian teams. It kills the Canadian Cup drought, and it's poetic. They finally break through and go all the way to the Stanley Cup final. They both break through, go to the Stanley Cup final. That'd be crazy. Honestly, it's kind of like the Leafs, actually. I'll admit it. If the Leafs don't choke to Ottawa, the Leafs are going to the Eastern Conference final. And honestly, I think they win it. If I'm being real, I think the Leafs go all the way to the Stanley Cup. If they don't choke in the first round, Florida, I think Lightning beat Florida. The way things are going right now, I think the Lightning beat the Florida Panthers. I think the Florida Panthers are losing their gas. They're starting to they're starting to cough out, what's the word? They're starting to cough out exhaust. Like the exhaust pipe is just about to burst for them. I think the Florida Panthers are about to lose it. They're about to come up snake eyes. I think Tampa's winning against the Florida Panthers. If the Leafs beat the Senators, I think the Leafs have had the Lightning's number over the past couple of years. They figured out Vasi. They figured him out. I think the Leafs win that. And Matthew Nyes loves playing in Tampa. I think they at least win 2 of the away games, which means all they have to do is win 2 home games. They go to the conference final. If the Leafs don't choke to Ottawa, they're going to the conference final at least. I believe that 100%. And honestly, I think that means Stanley Cup final because I legit think the Leafs are playing the perfect playoff hockey and they'll beat the Caps. They'll beat the Habs. They'll beat the Canes. They aren't playing the Devils. They'll beat anybody out of the Metro. I really believe that. If the Leafs get out of the first round, they're going to the Stanley Cup. I believe it. Even if it's the Panthers. So, if the Leafs get past the first round, I think this is the year. I think this is the year. Even before that, but I think this is the year. If it's any year, it's this year. Jets defending in the playoffs last year was horrid, made Hellebuck look bad. Yeah, I would agree with that. Wrexham's about to go to the championship. What do you mean? They're about to go to the championship. What do you mean? 97th minute. And Necaxa's doing pretty good. Let's be real. They're doing pretty good this year. Can't believe Larkin Mullen has them that high. Jesus. Header. That's going to go wide. So, yeah, I think the Leafs are going to the Stanley Cup this year. I think it's the year. So, yeah. How crazy is June going to be? Gold Cup, Club World Cup, Stanley Cup final. I don't mind it at all. I might. And if the Leafs make the Stanley Cup final, yeah, there are going to be some Club World Cup and Gold Cup games that get shafted for it. There's going to be some doubles too. It is what it is. 98th minute. It is what it is. Blues. If it ain't the Leafs, it's the Blues. The Blues don't lose. The Blues don't lose. I prefer it being the Blues because I'd be happy about that. I would be happy about that, of course. The Blues don't lose, but if it's against the Leafs, then of course that's my luck. 1-2 for St. Louis. My luck would be Leafs versus Blues. Full time. 1-2 for Columbus. It could have been worse for St. Louis, but it is what it is. Columbus win. The hockey game, I know they won this. They win their hockey game too. But Columbus Crew win. You expected that to happen. I think St. Louis got robbed with that offside, but that's pro for you. With that being said, we'll see how it goes. We'll review the game. The review will be up within the hour. I might be live on Tuesday. We'll see. I might put it to a vote. I might do it anyway because the Leafs winning in division, I feel like being live for that might just be, depending on how they schedule the playoffs, being live for the Leafs winning the Atlantic for the first time in a full season with this alignment. I think I have to do it, don't I? I might be live on Tuesday. Patrick Schulte, man of the match. I don't know about that, but so review for this game within the hour. I might be live Tuesday. We'll see. For the Leaf Sabres game, we'll see what happens there. But NBA playoffs bracket predictions, I really can't give those. I haven't really paid attention. I paid attention, but I haven't really paid attention. Not like the Stanley Cup. I could do that. With that being said, we'll take a short. My bad. We'll review this game. We'll see what I decide for Tuesday. And maybe I'll put it to a vote. Maybe I'll do it anyway. I don't know. We'll see. With that being said, I'll see you within the hour for the review of this match. St. Louis loses 1-2 to Columbus Crew. With the way it was going, you expected it, but it is what it is. I'm Ron, and I'm out. Peace. See you.